Okay, in our previous video, we talked about how to manipulate saved searches or alerts, right? How to create or update or delete saved searches or alert using Splunk Python SDK. Now, in this particular video, we will try to talk about how to run searches, like normal searches, or maybe we will see how to run saved searches as well using Python SDK. Okay, now when we talk about running a search using Python SDK, right, we need to understand the different search modes available. Okay, now there are 4 different modes by which you can run a particular search. One is called normal, blocking, one shot, and export over here. Okay, now each and every mode have their own characteristics or features which we will try to understand. Initially we will start with the normal mode. Maybe in this particular video we will talk about only the normal mode searches. Then in next videos and in future videos we'll talk about the blocking and one shot and export searches as well, how to create them and how they differ from each other over here. Okay, now if we just start with the normal mode searches, now these are the different characteristics for this particular mode. Is first of all, it runs asynchronously. Okay, so that means whenever it runs, it initially and immediately actually returns the search job ID, then it runs on its own thread, and then as it returns the job ID immediately, right, but the search is still not finished over there. So that's why we need to poll the job status to determine whether the job is actually finished or not, the search is actually finished or not over here. Okay, or completed or not over there. Then once the search is finished, then only we'll be able to retrieve the result. Okay, and then we can, there is a when we try to retrieve the result, right, there is a preview option as well. If it is enabled, you can preview the result as well, but as preview will not give you the exact output of the job. Okay, it can just give you the preview of the output, so that also possible over here. And it also works with the real-time searches over here. Okay, now let us try to see how we can create a normal mode search over here. Okay, so we will go back to our Python environment and try to see how we can achieve that. Now to run a search in normal mode, we, as we discussed in our PPT over there, so we'll be following the similar type of approach over there. Okay, now in our previous video when we worked with the saved searches and alerts, we will try to do it in a similar way. So if I just show you what we did previously, that time we did coded in the Visual Studio Code. Today we'll be working on the Spider. So as environment does not matter, so that's why I am doing it something like this one. Okay, and over there what we did is, like, initially first we wrote a method which will basically connect to the Splunk, right, and then it basically returns a service object, and on that service object we have saved searches creation method. Different methods are available over there. So when we talk about running a search or creating a search, so it's basically we need to deal with the jobs class or the job class over here. Okay, jobs means a collection of the job classes, job object over there, job class object over there. Okay, so similar way, when we created a saved search, what we did over there, we basically added a saved search to the saved searches collection over there, right? Here also we will be adding a search job to the jobs collection over there. So okay, so our approach will be similar, only we'll be seeing it like what are the different classes are involved over here. So that's why I will be copying this connect to Splunk method as is in our Spider over here. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now it requires the Splunk lib client, so I will import that, import Splunk lib client as client over here. Okay, and also what we'll do is we will copy the main method over here as well. Okay, so we will be removing a lot of codes over here from the main method, but the structure, for the structure purpose, from this main and where we are calling this particular main, I will copy that one as well. Okay, so over here we were connecting with Splunk, so this portions related to the save searches I will be deleting it. We will be, as we will be working with running a search over here. Okay, so this is my Splunk service, and this particular Splunk service we will be using it for other purpose, the job creation purpose now. Now if we see the documentation for, because this guy is returning a Splunk service object over here, right? So if we just see the documentation of the Splunk service, it has a method called, if I just go down over here, it has a method called jobs. Okay, so it returns the collection of the current search jobs for a particular user over here. Okay, so if I just go inside this jobs class, okay, so if I just go inside this particular job class, so in that particular job class there is a create method over here, as you can see, which takes a query string. This is basically nothing but the search string. We want to run it over here, and it also takes some dictionary object which is for additional parameters over here. Here only in this kwargs only we will be providing, we'll be telling like whether this particular search is running on a normal mode or any other modes over here. Okay, which we saw in our PPT. Now, so that means we will be using the service, that jobs, and then the creates method over here, correct? So let us go back, let us try to create a new method over here. Let's give it a name, def run normal mode search, let's say. Okay, now over here we need the Splunk service object, correct? We need a search string which we wanted to run over here, and also we need a dictionary object which will basically takes the additional arguments over here. Okay, as we have seen it before in our save searches video, right? So we did it in similar way. So we basically created a payloads kind of structure over here. Okay, so we will take in similar way, we will take the similar approach over here as well. Okay, we will pass a payload. The initial value, the default value of the payload would be a blank dictionary. Okay, if you are not providing over there any value over there. So we will try to write in a try and except block. So let's create the skeleton first. Okay, so now as I said, so in this Splunk service object, so let's create a new variable called job. Okay, job. So we have Splunk service dot jobs, which we saw that inside that jobs there is a method called create. Okay, so which takes two arguments. One is a search string and another is a payload, and the payload is a dictionary which will be passing in something like this one, payload. Okay, now let us first try to run this guy over here and try to see what's going on first. Okay, so what we have to do it over here is we have to give a search string. So Splunk service, we already passed the same Splunk service over here. So let's create a search string. So let's say our search string will be something like search index equals to tmdb underscore index. Okay, and let's say table id So if I just go back over here to my Splunk over here, so we are running a query something like this one. So let's say table ID and the original language and the original title. I think that should be enough to establish the search is running. Original title, no extra values, we'll be taking it over here. Okay, so we'll be running a search something like this one. So if I just run it for all time, so it will be something like this one over here. So we will copy this particular table method over here. Okay, so table this, so I'll just delete this guy over here. So that will be becoming my search string. Now what will be my payload over here? So let's do that. So let's say I'll be creating a new variable called payload over here, okay, which will be a dictionary, right? And as I said, this payloads will be basically telling us whether this particular search is running on normal mode or it's a block search or whatever it is, like whatever we saw in our PPT over here, right? So if I just go back, so there are different modes of searches, right? We are only talking about the normal mode today. So there are blocking mode, one shot mode, and export mode as well, which we'll see it later. So in that particular Python dictionary, so that value we need to pass it over here. Now how we will be knowing it, that one? So for that you need to basically check this particular search / job endpoints over here. Okay, so this is the endpoint basically directly related to that particular Splunk SDK jobs class over here. Okay, now if you see, it requires a lot of parameters over here, like the earliest time of the searches, the latest time of the searches, and one of it is the exec mode. And if you see, the valid values are blocking, one shot, normal, like this. Okay, so to make a search blocking, one shot, or normal, you need to basically pass this exec mode over here. And as I told, like there are other parameters as well, like what will be the earliest time of the search, what will be the latest time of the search, everything you can pass it over here. So I suggest you go through this particular documentation and basically the search / jobs input parameters to know what are the different things you can do it over here. Okay, so for making things very simple, I'll just pass this exec underscore mode over here in our code. Okay, so we will say exec mode, and as we are running a normal search, so we will be passing a normal over here. Okay, and also if you see the documentation for this, because we are talking about a job class object right over here. Now there is, as for the safe search class object, we saw there is a method called content, right? For the job also there is similar stuff available. So let's try to see what this actually hold. So basically we will try to print the job dot content over here. Okay, job dot content over here, just to see what it is returning first. Then we will see how to handle the job state to know whether the job has been finished or not, so that we can get the result from the job. Okay, so if I just run it now, it should print couple of stuff. First of all, it should print the service created successfully or not, then it should print this particular formatting line, and then it should print the job.content if we have done everything correctly. Okay, so let us run it. So run. So our service created successfully, and we got a big dictionary object over here. So let us try to copy it in our notepad. Okay, so I'll go to notepad++ and paste it over here. Now why I did that, because there are a lot of properties over here, like if you see it, like is paused or is finalized, is failed. So a lot of properties over here which we need to use it to know whether this particular job is completed or not. Now before that, Now if you see, like, let me show you over here itself first. So if I just search for is done, if you see, currently it is showing is done equals to 1. That means the job is already completed or done over here. Okay, even there are a lot of other interesting properties like the event count. This is also, you can use it over here, like the result count, the result preview, the result preview count, the scan count. So a lot of interesting stuff you can use it over here. Even if you see the original search we ran over here, it is coming up over here as well. Okay, so go through, this is actually a very small payload which you can go through it and try to see which one you can use it. Now for today's purpose, whether to know whether this particular job has been finished or not, we can just work with is done. The job is done is equals to 1 or not. So that is sufficient enough to know whether the job is already completed or not over here. Okay, now there is another key. I think it is done progress. Yeah, this is the one. So it basically tells us how much the job has been completed. So if it is 1, that means it is 100% completed. Otherwise it will be a value something less than 1 over here. In the percentage, you can always multiply with 100 and get the percentage of it over here. Okay, using that also you can check it out whether your job is completed or not successfully. Okay, even is done also will tell us the same stuff over here. So that is, so this one we will be checking it when the job has been completed. Now generally for the Splunk jobs, right, so it goes through a lot of phases. So when the job started running, we can always check with is done, but when the job is still not ready, so if I just go back to the documentation over here for the Splunk job class, so there is a method called is_ready over here. Okay, so it basically indicates whether the job is ready for queuing or not. So once it's put to a queue, then it is running over here. Okay, and if you see it over here, very interesting, there is a method called is done as well over there or not, which indicates whether the job is finished or not. So either you can go with that payload key, or we can check with this particular method as well over here. Okay, so first what we will do it over here is, after printing the content, so we will basically always check. That's why we will be running a infinite loop over here, so that we'll always check the job status. Okay, so inside that, first we will see whether the job is ready or not. Okay, so while job dot is underscore ready, so if the job is still not put into the queue, there is no meaning like we will be checking the job status, because the job is still not started over there, right? So we will pass it, we will continuously pass it. If the job is still not ready, we will be basically running another infinite loop over here, if you see it, right? So once the job is ready over here, so we will check the job status, right? So if, so we'll say if job, right, so job is my object over here. Now in the payload there is a key called is done, which we saw, and as we discussed, it needs to be 1 to indicate the job has been completed successfully. If the job is done is double equals to 1, then we will break this particular loop over here. Okay, it will coming out of this infinite loop. That means the job has been completed. So this whole code actually checking whether this, from this point to this point, we are actually checking the job is completed or not successfully. Okay, so once it is completed, then we can read the result of this particular job over here. Now how to do that? So now in the job, if we just go back to the documentation over here again, okay, so there is a method called results, if you see it. Okay, so it returns a streaming handle to this job search result. To get a nice Pythonic iterator, what you can do pass this handle to splunkleaf.results.resultReader. Okay, so if we just pass this job dot results over here, something like this one, okay, so we can get a iterator which we basically iterate through and get each and every row of that particular result set. Okay, so we will be doing it in similar way. So that means if I just copy this guy over here, we need this splunk clip dot results, right? So we will import this guy over here, and then we will do something like this one only, job dot results. Okay, so we will do it when the job has been finished over here, results dot result reader, job dot results over here. Okay, even we can loop through it over here only. Okay, something like this one for result in this guy, because this is nothing but a Python iterator over here, right? So we can just print the result over here. This will be the each and every row of that particular result set over here, nothing else. Okay, so now if we can just run this particular search, it should print the result. So what we'll do is we will clear the console, and also we will just comment the job dot content over here. Okay, unnecessary, it will print another big dictionary. So we just wanted to see whether we are able to see this particular search result or not over here. Okay, so if I just run it now, okay, over here another thing I missed it over here is we should be checking while not job is ready, right? Then only we will be passing it, right? Otherwise it will be a infinite loop over here, correct? So let us run it. So our Splunk service created successfully, and if you see it over here, it basically returns a tuple object basically as a Python order dict over here, and each and every dict element is a Python tuple over here to basically denote each and every row of the result set over here. Okay, so this is how we can run a search in the normal mode in Python SDK. And if you see, like as we have discussed, as in the normal mode, the job SID it returns immediately after running it over there, right? So that's why we wrote this particular code over here just to check whether the job is particularly finished or not. Okay, we have done that with is done, and whether the job has been put to a queue or not. That's why we check this particular status. Until and unless it is putting into queue, we were waiting over there somewhere. Okay, and then we were running this particular result reader to read the job output, and when the job has been completed successfully, then we are able to get the result over here. Okay, in the next video we will talk about how to run a search in a blocking mode. Okay, see you in next video.